Hey, true believers, ENGLENTINE here with another weekly roundup reviews. This is for the week of 5/30/2018, right on up to 6/5. Now, there are a couple of books from 5/23 just to fill out everything. And if you don't mind, before we get started, don't forget to hit subscribe and that notification bell if you haven't already. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon. The link is in the description below. Help us get better equipment and better software to make better videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. Now, if you have seen this, you know the drill. But if you haven't, let me explain how all of this works. It's pretty simple. I read the books, so now I review the books and score them. 1 star is horrible, 2 stars is bad, 3 stars are average, 4 stars are good, and 5 are some sort of excellent. I then take the score, and it's pretty simple. There's 24 reviews. The one that comes in first gets 24 points. Second gets 23. Third gets 22. See, it's that way. And we just find out what company wins the week. And sometimes Marvel wins, sometimes DC wins, sometimes it's by a lot, sometimes it's by a little. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen this time. I really do. Anyway, also, you may have noticed a whole bunch of comic covers floating by. Guess what? Those are the books that are being reviewed. Easy peasy, right? Told you. Told you it was very simple. I try to make things easy and very user-friendly around here. So kick back, sit. I usually say sit back, kick back, whatever, and relax. Here we go. Let's get started. The 1-star books are horrible. That's why I feel lucky that there are none this week. The 2-star books, they are merely bad. Maybe there's some redeeming factor to them, but oh my goodness, they're not good. Moon Knight 195, I decided, let's go back. Let's check it out, see if Max Bemis is doing any well. We know he's a dick. Well, guess what? He's a dick who can't write these days, because this book is bad. So you have a bunch of free lovers who decide to merge their consciousness and instead merge their bodies. But here's the kick. They grab onto somebody and they become merged into this monster that they've created. It really seems out of place for a Moon Knight book. There is no atmosphere whatsoever. The Moon Knight, the previous version of Moon Knight, really did explore the character and the character's mental problems. This one just has problems. And the title is missing the depth that it once had. Bane Conquest, number 11. So it's no secret I'm not a big fan of this series. There has not been anything that has ever happened in it that's made me change my mind, and this is not going to either. The art is okay. The story is okay. They're infiltrating a Cobra Mountain base. Bane's convinced that one of his team is Batman. This guy, in particularly. And it's just, you know, it's the kind of comic book you made a comic book and let's put it right here on the fridge. There's nothing horrible about it, but there's nothing good either. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 19. So this is a book that I used to say is one that you should pick up. I would recommend it. Oh my gosh, if you want the real Spider-Man, you have to get Renew Your Vows. So Spinneret and Spider-Man decide to go on vacation by themselves, and they go on a cruise, and they're stopped by a Gigantor. Now, a lot of it is nostalgia looking back, and hey, do you remember that? Hey, do you remember this? And this is the best scene, by the way, when Wolverine is watching, but overall, this is a loss. It's written very poorly, very shallow book, and the art does. The 3-star books, they're average. Maybe they didn't resonate, or maybe I liked them, but just not enough to recommend them. Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey. Okay, let's get rid of the funky phantom piece of crap story which drags this book down and just talk about Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey, and we still have a tale where characters aren't acting like each other. Black Lightning is a sidekick to Hong Kong Phooey, and instead of having the mild-mannered janitor that jumps into a filing cabinet to change, we get a very serious Asian/dog who is the wise creature while Black Lightning follows around doing whatever he says. It's good, but it just has no wow factor. Hunt for Wolverine Mystery by Madripoor. So apparently Hunt for Wolverine is going to be a series of miniseries based on anybody who's ever looked at Wolverine. In this case, you have the women who loved him. And it's basically them remembering times from the X-Men's past with Wolverine and such. And then they get to Madripoor, where they're invited to dinner by Magneto, and they're wondering if they're going to be in a fight. And yes, there is a fight. Not the way you'd think. But overall, the book starts off well and just careens into a wall towards the end. Wonder Woman number 47. So this is a brief fight. Well, actually, it's about 10 pages of a fight with Supergirl. And then a lot of talk about the old gods coming, whether it's with Wonder Woman's brother and the Three Fates, or Wonder Woman herself. It really does go from being a really exciting brawl between the two most powerful women in the DC universe to let's sit down and have a conversation about this unseen force that's coming to take over, and you don't know what it is yet, so I hope you find it interesting. But all in all, it's just kind of meh. Infinity Countdown, Captain Marvel number 1 is basically an apology for everything that's happened with Captain Marvel over the last few years, as we're also kind of getting warped reality versions of Captain Marvel throughout the years. It's incredibly and intensely average. I have to say, this is possibly the most okay book you'll read this year, and since it's average, it can give off the illusion of being good because of how bad Captain Marvel has been in recent years. I for one wasn't fooled. It's better art, better story than it has been, but it still is just meh. Star Wars Lando, Double or Nothing. Okay, so this is kind of like the movie we wish we got. Seriously, it's not a bad book. It's not incredible. Like I said, I wanted to see the story of how he went from a scoundrel to being the leader of Bespin. And this kind of takes us on that journey, and at least Lando Calrissian is an interesting enough character. You got that going for it. It's not an incredible book, but it's an entertaining one. Overall, I would say it's kind of average, and I'm going to end up just giving this 3 stars. Green Arrow Annual number 2 has a connection to the No Justice. Brainiac is searching for superheroes. I have not yet read No Justice because I gave that to Jack, and so I haven't checked it out. I was like, okay, so apparently Brainiac is big in this particular story. So he has to go to a whole bunch of places, and that's what it's like. Hey, here's a clue in this city, and here's a clue in that city. We do get to see Green Arrow's plane, which it's been a long damn time. I'm thinking, wow, has that been missing since the Golden Age? I don't know. It's entertaining, though. At least the book has that going for it. But it is a completely ridiculous premise for Green Arrow. Like, at one point he's talking, actually, all throughout the book, he's talking about how Martian Manhunter gave him some sort of death switch for the Justice League, if need be. It's good. It's just wacky and doesn't really feel like a Green Arrow story. Doomsday Clock number 5 is an entertaining yet slow-burning book. I do feel a little of disconnect because of the every 2 month schedule. I was like, okay, wait a second. What happened in the number 4? Do I remember? Okay, yeah. Okay, now I get it. And then, boom. So towards the end, there's definitely a lot more that happens than the beginning. You find out who some people are. There's a couple of revelations. There's a couple of heroes getting into danger. It's entertaining, but once again, just a slow-moving book. The 4-star books are good, and I am genuinely happy to recommend them to you. Lockjaw number 4, Lockjaw versus Annihilus. It's cute. This entire series, that's the best way to describe it. It's cute. There's nothing more to say. It's like, this is almost critic-proof because you can't go, oh, this is so bad. It's cute. It's written for kids. It's not written down for kids either. It's actually, I think it's elevated. I was actually asked, what's a good book for kids these days? Lockjaw could probably be a pretty good one. Yeah, it was entertaining. It's enjoyable. Definitely, the characters are a little off from what they are because it's a kid's book. But overall, at least it's entertaining. Infinity Countdown Dark Hawk number 1. I enjoyed the last Dark Hawk one-shot, and I enjoyed this one as well. I like the character. I like what they've done with him. And I've got to admit, I don't have a great relationship with Darkhawk. I remember reading him in the 90s and it was okay. But these days, yeah, what I'm seeing, I'm liking. This is one of my favorite of the Infinity Countdown specials, which I'm not a huge fan of the Infinity Countdown. So that should tell you something. At least it's exciting. It's got some good art to it. I like Death's Head coming out at the end. It was humorous and exciting fight. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. Injustice 2, Chapter 60. Now, the 59 ended on a great cliffhanger with Starro attacking the Green Lantern, Red Lantern Starro. This doesn't pick up there. It picks up in space where they're trying to basically recruit everybody to help go to war because they're bringing Reyes, the new Blue Beetle there, because apparently the Scarab can fight Starro. So basically it really is just a, hey, rah, rah, let's go fight a war kind of thing. Yet the dialogue is good. It really does work. So far, Injustice 2 has been a winner. Aquaman and Jabberjaw. Now, I will say this positively. It is a fun book, but it's interrupted by a couple of spots where there's just obvious modern-day politics thrown into it. And the villain doesn't even make sense because he's teaming up with not humans, but he's against non-humans. They really did upset the story in order to put in their politics, and I didn't appreciate it. Otherwise, it was an enjoyable book. When you got around those issues, it was fun, and I just wish they kind of left those out. Amazing Spider-Man number 800 was a strong ending to a weak story. I was not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the Red Goblin. It's Nanobite Carnage. There's no new character here, gang. Bleeding Cool is full of shit. Surprise! But the ending I liked. It had a lot of good moments, a lot of good action. I liked people coming together to help Peter Parker and his friends against Harry Osborn. It was Norman, excuse me. It was pretty good. And all in all, it's a strong book. And I know I'm sounding weak on that, so maybe I need to read it again. Star Wars Annual number 4. This ends up being a contest between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader to try to get these lightsabers. Funny thing is they're the only ones that know there are 2 of the lightsabers, except for, of course, the smuggler that stole them. And apparently they are kind of possessed, or at least they allude to the fact that they're possessed. It's a very entertaining book. It's a lot of fun. Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker never really come up against each other too much in this book, yet they're always against each other. It's written very well. Marvel has been kicking ass with the Star Wars books, man. The Man of Steel number 1. So I did a review of this. I'm not quite sure of all the things I said. I do remember I enjoyed the book. I was very pleasantly surprised. This cover is fake news. I will say that. I think I did say that before. It had a good sense of humor to it. There's a little bit of modern-day politics, but it's given to the bad guys, and he's shown to be crazy, so it's easy to wipe away. So I'm willing to find out what Bendis has to say about it. I've enjoyed it. I can recommend it with ease. However, I know a lot of people are a little bit put off by the Bendis factor. Batman Prelude to a Wedding, Robin versus Ra's al Ghul, or Ralph al Ghul if you've been listening to recent live streams. It's good. I like this book a lot. It is really, it kind of sets up a situation that just is all about let's explore Robin's psyche as his father and Catwoman are going to get married. And it's a trip for him. But for us, it's kind of like opening a doorway into who he is. And that's something I think is very necessary for Damian Wayne. I think he could be, he is definitely a character we need to explore more beyond just the arrogant ass version of him. The Punisher 225. So it's been a while since I visited The Punisher, and I'm kind of glad I did. I mean, I liked it. It's a good book, or it's fun, I should say. It's not good, it's fun. They included Captain Marvel in this, and oh my god, was that a mistake. All throughout, she's a they make mentions to her saying, oh, and you take this off because he's a dead man. And you know what? You're the one that got him killed. You're the one that got War Machine killed. Shut the up. It's like there's no moral edge to the people trying to stop the Punisher because they have Carol Danvers on the team. That's how much Marvel's ruined that character. However, the book, fun. Daredevil 603. So it continues the mayor story. It's pretty badass at this point, guys. Seriously, this is one to check out. In this one, you have the Hand releasing a gas into the city. Of course, Daredevil, having his heightened senses, succumbs to it long before other people do, which now leads Foggy in charge. So it is kind of a musical chairs as far as who's running New York, but this book is so intensely enjoyable. Definitely one of, if not the best Marvel has on the shelf right now. Terrifics! Number 4 is terrific. Everybody loves this book, and for good reason, too. You know, you read this and you really do get that Fantastic Four dynamic, that the banter between the Metamorphose Thing and Johnny Storm being now embodied by Plastic Man is just dead on. And one of the best things about this book is the fact that it takes time to develop the characters. So when things happen, we care. Funny thing, develop characters makes a good book. And this is a good book. Flash and Speed Buggy. So I did a review. I did a quick kind of review on this, and I said it's good old Flash and fun. And I will stick to that. This book is just pure entertainment. It loves the characters. It respects the characters' histories. It plays them out on the page. You get to know each character before the action starts, and by the time the action starts, you actually care about what happens to them. And that is a rarity these days. I just can't recommend this book more. It is just so much fun. And the 5-star books are excellent, the best of the week, and they might not be Watchmen quality, but man, they get the job done. Marvel 2-in-1 number 6. This is the conclusion, the whole big Doom Galactus story conclusion. And man, this book's good. Well, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys that. If there's one thing that you don't need to hear is that Marvel 2-in-1 is one of... I said this about Daredevil, but in all honesty, I think it might be this one. I think this might be the best book right now since Thanos is off the shelf. If it's between this one and Marvel... This week, definitely, Marvel 2-in-1 wins Marvel. This is such a great story. It is so honest and true to the characters. Amazing. You should be reading this one easily. Super Sons and Dynamut with the Blue Falcon is pretty damn cool. This is the best of the Hanna-Barbera DC crossovers. It's deep, it's dark, it's fun. Yeah, how can those three go together? It can go together in this book. This is damn near perfect. It really is. So Blue Falcon's been turned by the Red Vulture, and the Super Sons team up with Dynamut to get him back. Easy peasy. Very simple storyline, but told with perfection. And there you go, 24 reviews. Hope you enjoyed them. Let's see how they scored. Marvel had books at position 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, 16, 19, 20, and 23. DC had books at positions 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 13, 14, 17, 18, 21, 22, and 24. Marvel's score was 140, and DC was 170, making them the champion of the week. So there you go, gang. One heaping helping of comic book reviews. What did you think? Did you agree, disagree? What did I rate too high? What did I rate too low? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to tell me why. Let's get a conversation started about the comic books, what you liked, what I liked, and vice versa, and all that sorts of stuff. Also, you know the drill on this next part. If you liked the video, click like, please. Don't forget to share it as well to get word out about the channel. And if you haven't done it already, click subscribe and that notification bell. Don't want to miss anything. Cool things happen around these parts. Now, this is the way we're trying to make a living. So if you don't mind helping out the channel for less than the price of a candy bar a month, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. That'll help us get better equipment and better software. We're trying to make better videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.